coming today. It is so inspiring and really humbling looking around the room and seeing how much better everyone is at glitter than I am. It's incredible. But it is so cool to be here to see this project come to life. Now, I've been skiing since before I could walk, and my parents would go out on the trails and put little baby Jessie in their backpack, and I'd be probably singing and pulling on their hair and being all kinds of annoying. And they went skiing anyway, every single weekend. And I just grew up with skiing being such a huge part of my life. And in recent years, it is so hard to find places to ski with natural snow anymore. And that can be really tough on a cross-country ski season, especially when you're wanting to get out there every single weekend with your friends, with your family, with your team. So it is so cool to see this community coming together and building these incredible trails, and I can't wait till I get to come ski on them. It's going to be so amazing. So thank you so much for your support of this project. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that day that we won, because we tend to get a lot of questions on it. And first of all, I have to say, the last 100 meters of the race, I don't remember. I blacked them out. I was so focused on every single push of my ski and every single plant of my poles, and just putting everything I had into getting to that line first. But leading up into that event, there was a lot of pressure on us. It was crazy. My first Olympics in 2014 in Sochi, I came in as kind of a nobody. And if I did well, great, awesome. If I did poorly, nobody really cared. They weren't counting on me to win anything. I was there to just do my best, but there was no pressure. And this time around, it was a little bit different. It felt like the whole world was watching, and all the media outlets were saying, all right, it's been 42 years, get it done and make this happen. And there was an incredible amount of pressure, but we came together as a team before the Olympics, and we said, all right, we can't control whether or not we're going to have the fastest skis, but we did. And also because I was one of Miss Holloman, so there you go. But it was amazing, because there's so many things you can't control about the day. You can't control if somebody else crashes right in front of you and takes you out. You can't control if somebody steps on your pole. You can't control if something breaks or something goes wrong, but you can control your own effort. And you can control how much you put into everything that you do. And so going into that team sprint, I said, okay, the one thing I know is that I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna give 100%. I'm not gonna give 110%, that's mathematically impossible. I'm gonna give 100%, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get to that line first. And after that, I'm gonna let the rest go. And we sat down the day before the race. Our whole team was out there doing our race prep. We had everyone who was on the team, me and Keegan, and then we had all of the other girls who were on the Olympic team but hadn't been selected. And they were able to put aside their own individual disappointments and be out there doing the intervals with us, helping us get ready, pushing us in the tag zone, and challenging us so that the next day we were going to be ready for any scenario that could have happened. And that was incredible teamwork, because it can be so heartbreaking to work towards something and not get what you want. And they were able to say, look, I'm part of this team. I'm part of this effort that's larger than just me, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give everything I have to making these two women carry this team. And we went out there for the day of the race, and I was listening to the Shakira station on my headphones and putting on my glitter and getting all pumped up and ready. And we got there and we practiced our tags, and we finished the last of our warm-up, and we said, okay, we're gonna go out there and give it the best we have. And lap one of the final, I went out there and I thought, wow, this pace isn't crazy. Wow, okay, all right. I thought Norway was gonna try to crush us immediately, and everyone's just kind of feeling out the pace, seeing what everyone else is doing, and so it was just kind of a little more cautious. And so while Keegan was skiing her second lap, I jogged over to our coach and I was like, okay, I think we need to go a little bit faster. He kind of looked at me and went, well, why don't you do that then? Okay. So I went out there on lap 2 and I started pushing the pace, and we were able to drop a lot of teams, and it was really, really cool because Maiken from Norway also was like, oh, I see what you're doing here, I like it. And she also was pushing the pace, and so we were going faster and faster and tiring people out. And I knew that was my only play and the only strategy I had, because those other girls I was up against, on paper, they should have won. There's no way I should have pulled that off, because they are bigger than me and stronger than me, and they have more fast twitch muscles than me. And Stina had just been crowned the Olympic sprint champion, so she's actually the fastest sprinter in the world. But I knew that if we pushed the pace and turned it into more of a guts race, and turned it into more of a distance sprint, then I was going to have a shot. If we tired out all their fast twitch muscles, that was going to be my one chance. And so coming up that final hill, I tucked into third place, knowing that if I could ski behind them on that final kind of very S-turn downhill, that I could have a little more rest and that I would get the slingshot effect. And I just rounded that final corner and put every ounce of energy I had, and it was just enough. And crossing the finish line was the craziest feeling in the world, because, you know, growing up, I'd always imagined what it would feel like to win the Olympics. And I had no idea what it was going to feel like. But I had these, you know, pictures in my head of what it might feel like. And I actually couldn't believe it was happening. You know, the moment was finally there, and I just felt like it was surreal. It was like someone had taken the volume dial and turned it down, and I couldn't hear the crowd, and I couldn't see the lights, and I didn't see anything. All that existed was crossing that line. And then when Keegan jumped on me and tackled me, that sort of the sound came back, and suddenly I was like, oh my gosh, we did this is crazy. And it still didn't feel real until I got up from the snow and I saw my team. And every single person who'd been at every training session, who'd been pushing each other harder and faster for the last 8 years, was right on the side of the course, ready to just rip the sponsor boards off and jump over. And everyone was crying and screaming. And that's when it kind of sunk in that we had actually accomplished something that no one had ever done before. And because we were able to do it, I know that we can do it again. I know that this might have been the first gold medal, but it's not the last. And we have so many young skiers on our US team that are working so hard, and they are so dedicated and so fired up. And that goes all the way down to everyone sitting in these front rows here. We have so many young skiers who are working so hard and so dedicated and full of belief and sparkles. And that is the coolest thing ever, because communities like this is where it starts, and this is where it happens, and this is where the next relay team comes from. So the person standing to your left or the person standing to your right might be on one of the next Olympic teams, and it's so cool that we have this amazing training facility to grow those dreams in. So thank you for coming and being part of this event.